Good morning, my darlings. Welcome to a new vlog. I was not planning on picking up the vlog camera today, but it's Monday, it's the start of a new week, and I thought I would take us all back to YouTube of yesteryear and do a really old school video. Old school, but one that I always really enjoy watching, especially at this time of year. And I'm going to do, as you already know from the title, a what I eat in a week video. I've actually not eaten anything yet today, which is very naughty. I would not recommend missing out on breakfast, but we're actually starting the week with pretty much an empty kitchen. We don't really have much in stock at the moment. I definitely need to go shopping. I have got a supermarket delivery coming, but not until Thursday. Those slots are few and far between at the moment. Luckily, we do have a farm next door that has fresh eggs all the time, so eggs are on regular supply. We also have a really good village shop that sells fresh vegetables from local farmers and things like that. So we won't go hungry, but there are a few things that I won't have until Thursday, Friday. But what that does mean is I can spend a little bit of time looking through some recipe books, doing some meal planning, and maybe some of you are in a similar situation where you just have to kind of make do and mend with little bits that are around the house. So I'll show you how I do that. I think we've got some veg left over from our Sunday roast yesterday, and sorry, my arm's aching already. One thing that I do really enjoy, and it's become my latest favorite thing to make, and it is a tart or a quiche. I don't actually know what the difference is between a quiche and a tart. I might look that up, but basically it's like a pastry base, and then in it is a veggie eggy mix. Sometimes you can add cheese in, up to you. It obviously makes it taste better, but a little bit less healthy. I will normally put cheese in, but sadly we don't have any cheese in the house at the moment. I don't think. I am gonna scurry around and check. So that's what I'm gonna make myself for lunch. Normally in the mornings I would have made myself a breakfast smoothie right now, before now, but we don't have any bananas or any fresh strawberries, so I couldn't do that. I've had my morning coffee, and I've also just made myself a lovely mint, lemon and honey tea. So this is fresh mint from the garden, a little bit of honey and a slice of lemon, just to you're having a tough day, my boys. Just as an alternative from having my second coffee of the day. Now, it looks like Charlie's got some bits and bobs out for making a juice. He's got, wow, we have got a lot of sprouts. So I am going to make a tart. I think I will put some sprouts in there. I don't actually really like sprouts, but there are a lot of foods that I think I don't like, so I kind of trick myself into eating them. Whether it's fruit, and you might think I'm mad, but I actually don't like eating fruit. I don't like eating a solid banana, I don't like eating strawberries, but I don't mind them if they're all wazzed up in a smoothie. And it's the same for a lot of vegetables. I wouldn't actually eat a sprout if it was on my plate. I don't really know why, it's just, you know, sprouts are one of those things that people are silly with, aren't they? But if it's shredded up and put in a tart, then I think I'd quite like it. So I'm going to use some of those, and then I'm sorry, did I come into your bedroom without your permission? Oh, a very, very empty looking fridge. Oh dear. Natural fat-free yogurt, great. Ooh, I've got some dates, which means I can make my energy balls. Some carrots, is that celeriac or is that, gosh, I don't even know. Some purple broccoli, that will go nicely in my tart. This here is our store cupboard, so obviously we're not going to be going hungry anytime soon. We do have a fairly well stocked store cupboard, but it's not really fresh food, you know. You have to be a little bit creative with these raw ingredients. Let's see what we've got down here. I don't think we've got any potatoes. Nope. We've got plenty of garlic, no onion. I don't think I want to put garlic in my tart. I have found some eggs. We've got the raw ingredients here for a pastry, so I normally use plain flour and spelt flour, which I believe this is, yes. Ooh, I could pop in a couple of spring onions. Don't know what Charlie's got this out for. I thought it was a juice, but putting onions in a juice is a little bit weird. So I'm going to pinch a couple of spring onions. Now with the pastry, you can definitely cheat this a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie, if I had the ingredients here, I would cheat it. If you're doing a supermarket shop, then I would recommend adding some pre-rolled out phyllo pastry. That is what Jamie Oliver recommends, and I think it's possibly a tiny bit healthier to do that really thin sheets of phyllo pastry. And if you're going to do that, you can use just a big oven dish and do maybe 5 or 6 layers of phyllo pastry, not very neatly, just whack them all on the bottom of your oven dish and then add the filling that I'm about to make. Sadly, I don't have any of those pastry sheets, but the Thermomix has a really quick and easy pastry recipe, so I'm just gonna make my pastry in the Thermomix, but I'll show you the fun bit, which is the filling. As you've guessed from me scurrying around the kitchen, you can be really flexible with what your filling is made of, but I do think the base of some eggs and a little bit of cheese, luckily I did find some feta in the back of the fridge, that's your kind of core, but then you can really add whatever vegetables you like. So as I said, this is going to be a sprout and broccoli tart with a little bit of spring onion and of course some good seasoning for the flavour. Okay, so here we have got, I just blended up in the Thermomix, a good handful of sprouts and also the stems from the broccoli. This is purple sprouting broccoli. I'm not going to use too much broccoli. Charlie just came down and told me that he's saving some of it for his dinner. But the stalks, stems are all blitzed up here. And then I've got spring onion and then just a couple of florets of broccoli in the pink bowl. So I'm going to add these all together. Pastry in the oven for 10 minutes. It doesn't usually rise like this in the middle. I think I didn't poke quite enough holes in it. And now I'm going to add my little veggie.
Like Nigella Lawson going on.
And now I'm going to add my veggie mix into the middle and bake. And bake for another 20 minutes.
Oh, good. Did you make that pastry then?
Yep. So this here is my collection of healthy-ish cookbooks. I'm going to have I say quick look through, but it's probably going to take me an hour or so to look through these. And I'm going to make a note of some of the recipes that I'd like to do. So as you can see, a lot of them have already got loads and loads of post-it notes inside them. That means I've already bookmarked some recipes that I want to try. And seeing as, let's be honest, I don't really have too many events or any events to put in my diary at the moment, I'm going to use this diary as almost like a food planner, so that when I'm adding things to my online supermarket shop from these recipes, I can then go and refer to my diary as to what meals I plan to cook each day, and then that'll prevent me from having loads of ingredients and completely forgetting what I intended to do with them. So of course I really love my Thermomix cookbooks, because then I can do the recipes really easily in the Thermomix. It's got loads of things from drinks to, oh that looks delicious, aubergine shakshuka. This is the plant-based kitchen, so great if anyone is doing veganuary. I also love Madeline Shaw's cookbooks. I have used so many recipes from these. One of my favorites of hers is I think it's called the Life-Changing Tomato Soup. That is just delicious. I've got a couple of Madeline Shaw's cookbooks. Charlie has the Ottolenghi cookbook. I don't think I've actually flicked through this one, but Charlie's bookmarked a few recipes, so I'll have a look through there. I seem to think this Goop book has got a few recipes in here as well. Yeah, I think it does. Yes, it does. I think it's a lot of lifestyle stuff, but then some food as well. So I'll have a little rummage through there. I think it's mostly summary recipes though. I love books like this. This is the Liz Earle Skin book. So this is not only recipes that are designed for radiant skin, but also, again, some lifestyle tips. This is a little bit of yoga advice. She's got some breakfast things. Lots of nice bits and bobs to look through in there. Another one from Madeline Shaw, and then this is one that I got for Christmas from Charlie, the Mira Soda East book. Lots of really tasty recipes in here, lots of lovely curries and things like that. Then I have got Ree Lambert's Re-Nourish book. I haven't cooked anything from this yet, so I need to have a good look through here. She is a nutritionalist who also has an amazing Instagram. I'll leave it linked down below. So I think there's going to be some really lovely recipes in there. Then I've got Amelia Freer's Nourish and Glow book. Again, I don't think I've cooked anything from this yet, so I need to have a good browse. Melissa Hemsley, Eat Green, looks like I've saved some from in there. And then over here we've also got Jamie Oliver's Everyday Superfood. Ooh, I love things like this, little bars which I can snuffle in the afternoon. I'm going to make my beauty balls later on today as well. That looks, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. So a frittata is kind of like what I'm making now, but without the pastry. Melissa Hemsley has got a fridge raid frittata. She's listed the bits that she pops in hers, but she's saying here that you can really use whatever veg you've got in your fridge. So she's using a head of broccoli, including the stem finely chopped, a small onion, a bit of garlic, some butter, 10 eggs, so way more eggs than I've used, a little bit of grated cheese. Optional extras include basil, some wild garlic, chili flakes to taste. Things like this are really good, as I said, for just using up whatever veg you have got left over in your fridge. Okay, this here is something that I definitely want to make. I absolutely love Coronation chicken, and the new kind of deli at Soho Farmhouse before it closed for lockdown was serving Coronation chickpeas, which I thought was just absolutely amazing, and they were so... Dicky! Shush! Momentary distraction as the gardener just came to the door. So yeah, I'm basically going to add all the ingredients for this into my Sainsbury's order, which will arrive on Thursday. Well, we don't have celery, but I might be able to get some from the village shop, so I might be able to make this before Thursday. So my tart is out the Aga 20 minutes later, and I'm not going to lie, it is making my mouth water. It looks delicious, so you can see that the egg has all risen, so it's nice and plump and it looks scrumptious. Charlie is making a veggie slaw. What even is the definition of a slaw?
A veggie slaw? No, it's always with veg, isn't it?
I guess.
I mean, really, like obviously, like people think of coleslaw, which has lots of mayonnaise and stuff, which isn't particularly healthy.
Right.
This is a recipe that is, it's not Jamie Oliver, it's some random chef that I found online originally, where you mix low-fat yogurt with Dijon mustard or a bit of English mustard, lemon juice, and olive oil. And then really the basis is, so that's the dressing, which you could use any sort of mustard really. And then in terms of the slaw, you can use any veg. It has to be raw. So I'm using carrot, red cabbage, and then
sprouts.
Well, I'm going to add a few sprouts, but then I was googling about how to do, because we had a lovely sprout salad from Quince and Clover, didn't we?
Yeah.
And really, once again, it's really basic. You get the sprout, obviously I'm going to have to clean them up, but you don't need to get rid of you don't need to chop them up like you would if you were cooking them. And then you do the same. You could use a knife. I'm going to use a Thermomix for these. Yeah. And you just finely slice them, stick them in a bowl, red wine vinegar for the dressing with olive oil, and then add some sweetness with cranberries.
Nice.
Some toasted, these probably come out. Some toasted, oh god.
What have you burnt?
I've burnt them.
Almonds.
See, it's not always
successful.
Always successful in this kitchen. Truthfully, the reason I'm going to blame my tools here because the Aga is still on setting 6. Some of them will be rescuable.
That'll be fine. Toasted
so
almonds.
that adds some crunch. Yeah, because I think the key for a salad that you've got to consider, so your veg, you can pretty much use anything, but you need to add some texture, so you want crunch, so you want walnuts, almonds, that's why we put all of them in there. A bit of sweetness that's not going to be really unhealthy, so cranberries is a good one. Yeah. Grapes, raisins.
Cranberries are great in a frittata. Frittata, and they'd be great in something like this as well.
Yeah, so, but the slaw's great because you can have this with a nice bit of fish, you can have it on its own, it's going to work well with that. So yeah, and we're kind of using up what we've got in the fridge, if I'm
Exactly,
honest.
Right, I'll let you get cracking, but I am going to have my first slice of this because I am ravenous.
Journey, you've got to enjoy yourself along the way, whereas I'd kind of make certain rich.
I'm now having my second wedge of the tart with Charlie's slaw and sprout, almond and cranberry salad that he's just blitzed up in the Thermomix. My first slice of the tart was absolutely delicious. The remainder of it, I have popped in some Tupperware here. That'll go in the fridge, and to be honest, I will munch on this for the rest of the week. I'll make some different salads to have with it, and well, to be honest, this will probably only last me a couple of days, and I'm sure someone else will be snuffling it too. It's a few hours later now, and the boys are perfectly summing up how I feel. This is how, I'm sorry, this is quite rude, this is how Dexter just lies when he's fully relaxed. Totally ridiculous. But anyway, I wanted to show you my afternoon snack. I'm going to try not to eat all of these. These are one of my new favourite things. I don't know if it's meant to be Calo or KO. I would pronounce it KO because 2 L's in Spanish is a ya, but I don't think it's a Spanish brand. But anyway, I call them KO. These are little rice cakes, and they are the mini versions. They're a little bit smaller than a Jaffa cake, each one. And then they've just got a lovely layer of Belgian chocolate on top. So these are my naughty afternoon snacks. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is make my little beauty balls, which are much healthier, and equally I could grab those if I just want a little sugar hit at about 4:30 in the afternoon. Not to talk through the actual creation of tonight's dinner, just so this video isn't a million years long, but I basically kind of did the pilau cauliflower shawarma recipe from the East cookbook, and it looks and smells rather scrumptious. There is something about yellow rice that just makes my mouth water. I always associate it with really, really yummy flavors. Charlie always needs a little bit more protein than I do, so he has cooked a tuna steak to go with his. I've also lightly toasted some almonds to give it a bit of texture, and we're also going to use up the rest of the broccoli. And this is our yummy looking dinner for tonight. Good morning, my darlings. It is now Tuesday and I have made my breakfast smoothie. I did already have a coffee this morning, my usual oat milk latte, and I did manage to find a few berries in one of my stasher bags in the freezer. So I used up all of those, and today I used a mixture of almond milk and hazelnut milk. I had about half a cup's worth of each in the fridge, and then just my usual concoction of a tablespoon of almond butter, a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of chia seeds, a spoon of the Beauty Chef Glow powder, and a really good size tablespoon or 2 of oats. And this will keep me full for a couple of hours until lunchtime. Oh, and I also made up this mixture. It's mostly puffed quinoa and some seeds. So I've got sunflower seeds. I think there's even some pumpkin seeds in here. And I like to just sprinkle this on top just to give it a little bit of extra crunch. What I need to buy next time we go to Dalesford is some bee pollen, because I like to sprinkle a little bit of bee pollen on top as well. So that is my Tuesday morning breakfast. Well, it's already 4:30. Don't worry, I did have something for lunch, but it was exactly the same as yesterday's lunch, so I didn't feel the need to show you. That's the great thing about making a tart, is that it can last a few days. But I have just had a little bit of a sugar craving, and I know this is not the typical thing to have when you've got a sugar craving, but these came in the post with a PR package a couple of days ago, and they taste really good. So I actually saw this brand on Cult Beauty, and for me that's just a sign that they are a really good product if it's sold on Cult Beauty. The brand is called Hum. I don't know too much about the brand, but apparently these are skin hydration little gummies with hyaluronic acid and vitamin C and vitamin E, dietary supplements, 60 tangerine flavoured vegan gummies. You're meant to have 2 a day. I mean, if it does improve my skin hydration levels, then I will be very, very grateful, but they do taste very, very yummy indeed. But that just gave me a little afternoon sugar hit. And for dinner tonight, Charlie said, yes, look at this, I have got a pasta evangelists to eat. So this is what my dinner will be. It's the Julius pasta from Pasta Evangelist. I have a feeling this might be the truffly one with walnuts and parmesan, which would be absolutely delicious. This is a pretty small portion of pasta, so I might actually add some more of my own pasta. I mean, this is delicious. It's proper fresh pasta. It really is restaurant quality, but I always find their portions just a tiny bit small, but very, very tasty. I have a feeling Charlie has thrown away the instructions, so I'm going to have a little Google as to how to do their Julius pasta. I'm pretty sure it'll be a case of cooking the pasta for a few minutes, popping it in a saucepan with maybe a spoonful of the pasta cooking water to loosen up the sauce, and then sprinkling on the walnuts and the parmesan when I'm ready to eat. I'm not going to lie, I'm already quite hungry. It's only 4:30. I'm going to make myself wait till at least 6 o'clock before I have my dinner, otherwise I will be craving more food at around 8:30. Can you just come out of the cupboard and stop being annoying? So I've managed to control myself and not cook anything until 6:30, which means I will eat at my usual time. Well, to be honest, this is only going to take 5 minutes, so I'll be eating at like 6:40. So the kettle is on. I have to just generously salt the water. It says on the instructions, as salty as the Mediterranean. And then, as predicted, I just have to warm up the walnut pesto, that's what it is, in a saucepan, add a couple of tablespoons of the pasta cooking water, and it's as easy as that. And then after dinner, I've asked Charlie if I can log into the Pasta Evangelist account and choose my pasta for next week, because I have a sneaky feeling they have got a black truffle mac and cheese on the menu. Okay. And here we have my trophy with walnut pesto from the Italian Riviera. That is making my mouth water. Looks absolutely scrumptious. Time to dig in. So Charlie and I popped into our favourites, quince and clover. I've got loads of like breads and salads and veggies, which is great to stock up on. But they also were serving these amazing soups, and oh my goodness, my mouth is watering. It smells so good. I think this is broccoli and parsnip with blue cheese croutons. Oh my goodness. So this is my lunch for the day. This clip is actually going to be going in 2 vlogs, because I'm also filming for my What I Eat in a Week video, which will have gone live on Tuesday. Or maybe it's the one that you're watching right now.
I can save you all the hassle of watching What You Eat in a Week.
Why?
Well, I know what you eat in a week.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, kettle crisps.
Oh, you're so funny!
To be fair, you've been a bit better this.
I have.
And actually, it used to be should have been sponsored by Muller Crunch Corners, but you have massively beaten your obsession with
I've only eaten one in the whole time we've lived at the old rectory.
That's actually mad.
Yeah. And now we're back home. I've just settled down with my laptop to get some more work done, and I have just made myself a tea. Now this tea bag came in a PR mail. I think it is a Spanish licorice spiced chai tea. Oh, I've just dropped the bloody dangly thing in there. Never mind, so I'll report back as to whether it is a good one. It is only 6 o'clock, but I am already starving hungry, so I'm going to start making my dinner. And I know I had pasta last night, but I saw a picture of a macaroni cheese today and just could not get it out of my head. So I'm going to make macaroni cheese for dinner. And I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling a little bit sorry for myself with my silly wrist. So yeah, I think I'm going to treat myself to a lovely mac and cheese. So I have spoken through my mac and cheese recipe so many times before, saw most recently in Vlogmas, I shared a festive twist on my classic mac and cheese, so I'll just leave that vlog linked up in the screen now. But my basic ingredients for the cheese sauce: melt the butter in the pan, add some plain flour, which I haven't got out of the cupboard yet, and then add milk to make it into a paste. Then parmesan and cheddar for the cheese, and I like to add in a good dollop of mustard because it just makes it so tasty.
You have to wear a wrist support when making it the Josie fashion Mumblr way, right?
Yep, you do. It's all in the wrist action. And then some very nicely salted water and your pasta. This is not my favourite pasta for doing mac and cheese. My favourite are those kind of half rigatonis. But anything that is tubular is great because then your pasta sauce goes all inside the tubes and it is delicious. And then once I have made the sauce and cooked the pasta, I pop it in the Aga for 10-15 minutes. The ultimate mac and cheese will have, oh, and salt and pepper in the sauce as well. The ultimate mac and cheese will have breadcrumbs and maybe even some nuts or cranberries on the top. Do we have any breadcrumbs, darling?
We don't, but we might be able to make some. We'll check if we've got any.
Woohoo! So that's what I'm doing for my dinner. I have definitely already started eating this. I got so excited to eat it that I've already begun. But this is my dinner for this evening in front of the TV, and this makes me a very happy lady. Good morning, darlings. Sharing with you a slightly different morning smoothie today because we are out of berries. So I have started off with the kind of usual. I have chopped up 2 bananas in here this morning because Charlie's going to have a big glass as well. I popped in the usual oats and chia seeds and glow powder. I'll be popping in a little bit more almond butter than usual, and I'm using hazelnut milk. Managed to get some of that. And then I'm going to try, and I have done this once before and it was a great success, to recreate, if you've ever been to a Soho house, you may know that they have a smoothie. I can't remember what they call it, possibly just like their banana and coffee smoothie. And in it, luckily they list the ingredients, they pop almonds, dates, a shot of coffee, and bananas. So that's pretty much what I'm using in this morning's smoothie. I'm going to have to pop some ice in as well because obviously this coffee is hot and I don't fancy a warm smoothie, so that's 2 shots of coffee. I'm going to pop in maybe 4 dates and then a good handful of almonds. I actually don't think I need my sprinkles on top today. Where I've put the almonds in, it's got a little bit of a crunch to it. It's got a bit of a zing to it. It kind of tastes like a breakfast version of a chocolatey banana milkshake. I'm not sure, sounds a little bit strange. I definitely prefer my normal breakfast smoothie, but this is very nice for a change. Okay, it's lunchtime and I'm going to make more of a frittata today. Hopefully, Charlie's has gone to get some eggs from the farm next door. Hopefully there'll be enough for me to make a frittata. I thought I would just get it ready so that I can pop it in the oven as soon as he gets back. So this is going to be a little bit of kind of a spicy, slightly more like a Persian style frittata, similar to my tart that I did earlier in the week. It doesn't have the pastry and it's more like a really flavoursome omelette, kind of. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do in here, if I had the actual fresh herbs, I'd pop in some fresh coriander, some fresh flat leaf parsley, but because of the miserable weather, we don't have any growing in the garden at the moment, so I'm going to have to go with some ground coriander instead, but it'll still be fine for the flavour. I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon, again I would use ground cumin if I had it, but I don't, so I'm going to use a teaspoon of cumin seeds. I'm going to add in some chopped walnuts just for a little bit of crunch, some cranberries because I always love the sweetness, and then a tablespoon of self-raising flour, and that'll just help it to fluff up and kind of be a little bit more cakey than omelette, if that makes sense. So I'm going to get all of these bits ready in the bowl, add some eggs when Charlie gets back, and then I will lightly fry it on the Aga just for a few moments before popping it in there to bake all the way through. And here is my finished frittata. I have to say it looks bloomin' awful. It just looks like a very unappetizing brown slice, but it smells really good and I think it's gonna be really nice and tasty. Have a little bit of salad from our trip yesterday to Quince and Clover. It's not a particularly exciting looking lunch, but it'll fill me up for the afternoon. What have you cooked, darling?
So this is, guess whose recipe?
Jamie Oliver's.
Of course it is. My favourite man. I think this is from his veg pack, actually.
Right.
This is a sweet potato curry.
Okay.
He does a tikka masala, which is actually pretty healthy still, because the only bit that you could argue is unhealthy is the paste, which you're only doing 2 tablespoons of. However, I used a tandoori paste because we don't have tikka masala paste.
Yum.
So I think it will still be really nice.
It smells delicious. You did a new method of rice in the Le Creuset dish.
Yeah, so I actually think I have been cooking rice wrong all my life.
Yeah.
The proof will be in the pudding, really.
Literally. Good morning, darlings. It is now Friday. I think today is going to be the last day that I'm going to document what I'm eating this week, because I have a feeling that this video is going to be very long already. I'm afraid there is no lovely, exciting, healthy breakfast on Friday. In fact, I'm ashamed to admit that my breakfast this morning is a bowl of kettle crisps, and I have no excuse. Well, I do have an excuse, actually. I wanted to make myself a smoothie, and then Charlie was like, no, don't do that. I'm making us some fresh orange juice, and we'll have some toast. He said that over an hour ago. He's been out chatting to the builders, and I am hungry. So I'm just having some kettle crisps, but I think we'll have some freshly squeezed orange juice shortly. Then I think we're going out to get some more fresh veggies. There's a vegetable shop that we've been desperate to visit for quite some time now, called Vegetable Matters, which is on our way to Chipping Camden, and then there's another place called The Farm at Stratford, which we want to visit as well. Charlie's mum so kindly sent us a Hawksmoor steak dinner box yesterday, so I think that's going to be our dinner for tonight. We've got all the sides, chips, mac and cheese, truffle mac and cheese, and creamed spinach. So that is going to be our treat this evening. And I'm not sure what our plans are for lunch, so we shall see. But here's my very nutritional breakfast. And here, my darlings, is my lunch for the day. I wish I was joking, but I'm actually not. I'm having a bag of Skittles and a bag of chocolate buttons, because whenever I eat Skittles, I have to have some chocolate. Actually, to be honest, any kinds of sweets, I have to have chocolate with them.
You have to have both.
I do. I have to eat them. Two sweet treats for one chocolatey treat.
And I have got Double Decker's Unbeatable.
Is that your all-time favourite chocolate?
Cadbury's Fruit and Nut is amazing. Cadbury's chocolate is my favourite chocolate. What would you say yours is?
Yeah, I would say Cadbury. I don't know if chocolate buttons are my favourite. And then I love mini eggs. I do like a twirl.
Milky Way stars.
I do love an Aero.
Aero is Nestle, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think so. Or is it Mars?
Not sure. But anyway,
Milky Way stars are Mars, I think.
Milky Way stars are. No, I think Milky Way's the company. Pretty sure. Anyway, this is my lunch for the day. I will see you later. Well, this delivery very much puts my naughty lunch to shame. We have just received an amazing delivery from Plenish. So you could actually supplement all of your meals and do a full-on juice cleanse. There's some information about that in the booklet. Or you can just enjoy them as a juice when you, I don't know, want to have one as your breakfast or as a little afternoon pick-me-up. I especially love the sound of this one. So this is their Savor juice, and it's organic dairy-free nut milk with cashew, cacao, maca, dates, cinnamon, Himalayan salt, and filtered water. That sounds really lovely. I'm actually going to have that in a second. That'll keep me going, considering I didn't have a very nutritious lunch today. Although maybe I should have a slightly healthier one, seeing as I have not had anything colourful food-wise in my body today. They also have these little shots. So this is a turmeric defense shot. They have got a ginger immunity shot and a berry gut health shot. So I'll take one of these a day for the next 5 days. And they've also very kindly sent over a couple of soups and We were also sent a little delivery from Dalesford. I don't actually know who sent it though, because it didn't come with a note card. I've just popped an Instagram story up, so hopefully we'll find out soon who sent this. And it came with a really lovely loaf of bread, so I'm sure if you're doing a proper juice cleanse, you wouldn't be allowed the bread. But that will be my lunch for tomorrow. We've got kale, spinach and turmeric soup, and this soup in particular helps your immunity. And then we have got the roasted carrot and ginger soup, which will be one of my midweek luncheons next week. Plenish, when I was messaging them, they did say that they would very kindly create a discount code, which I believe is Josie25, to get 25% off your Plenish order. If you are tempted by this as well, I think it'd be a really nice thing to maybe send someone. If you haven't seen someone in your family or a friend for a little while, this would be a nice little pick-me-up to send somebody during the dreaded lockdown. Decided I would try and be a little bit healthy, and I'm having a green juice. Apparently this is 96% vegetables, so definitely going to give me a little bit of the nutrients that I'm lacking so far today. I'm also having a little look through this book that they sent with the juices, and it's talking about the benefits of having hot water and lemon first thing in the morning. A mug of warm or hot water with the juice of half a lemon squeezed in supports your immune system because lemons are high in vitamin C and antibacterial, promotes clear skin by speeding up detoxification and eliminating toxins that cause blemishes, and wakes up your digestive system by encouraging peristalsis, the involuntary contractions of the intestine, which gets things moving. Interesting, so maybe we should all be having hot water and lemon first thing in the morning. But this juice that I'm enjoying now, I mean, it tastes very healthy. Very healthy. If anyone has ever been to Berners Tavern in London and had their green juice, that's what this tastes like. And it's kale, spinach, cucumber, ginger and lime. And now the final meal of this what I eat in a week, and we have definitely saved the best till last. So as I mentioned earlier, Charlie's mum bought us a Hawksmoor dinner box. So we have got 2 ribeye steaks over here, which we're about to start cooking. We have got, I think the chef's name is Matt Brown's iconic triple cooked chips, which we are just turning.
Beef dripping on them. This is beef dripping in there, not goose fat.
My goodness, they look delicious. And then over here, bubbling away, we have got some bone marrow gravy. We've got some
steak about to go on.
Yeah. Oh, little boy, you are lovely. Can you smell something tasty? We have got some creamed spinach over here. And the box did come with a mac and cheese, but as we are ultra ravenous, and we all know that my mac and cheese yeah, my mac and cheese is the best in the world, we've decided to make an extra one.
Truffle mac and cheese, mate.
Truffle mac and cheese. Yum, yum, yum. There might be a little bit of steak left for my tins. Matt Brown, watch out. Okay, we are ready to serve. Took us maybe 40 minutes start to finish. Not bad at all. So we have got beef dripping oven chips. My goodness, that is making my mouth water. Try and present it as though you are a 3 Michelin star chef.
It's never going to happen. I never really know how to do present my potatoes and things like that on a plate.
I think when they serve it at Hawksmoor, everything comes in its own dish, doesn't it?
Possibly.
Like everything comes in a copper dish. Oh, they smell so good. See, we didn't think that'd be enough, but I think that is enough chips. Yum.
More spinach.
That's perfect amount for me.
I'm just going to serve a steak like that, actually. The world's smallest steak.
That is so plenty for me. We could have left the mac and cheese in a little bit longer. Didn't go quite as crispy on top. My usual recipe, minus the mustard, but with white truffle oil. Yum.
You like the crispy bits, don't you?
I do. That looks amazing.
And then
the piece de resistance.
On the beef?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bit of skin for.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Boom.
Bad head, Aylin. Bad head, Aylin.
Sit back in the water.
Good morning, darlings. So I was going to end this vlog yesterday, but I thought why not show a final what I eat in a week day on a weekend day, so you can see something a little bit different. So every weekend we normally have a nice leisurely brunch with eggs from the farm next door. And what's the name of the bread that we have?
It's from a local baker's that dropped it off, and we get it from Quince and Clover. I'm not sure what they're called.
Right, Cotswold Crunch or something.
I think it's actually called, like, it's someone's name. Like, I can't remember. I really can't remember.
But it's a very nice hearty loaf of bread, which we'll have with scrambled eggs this morning, as well as some of Charlie's freshly made orange juice. He actually made this yesterday, kept in the fridge. It'll last a couple of days, and it is rather scrumptious, wouldn't you agree, my Lin Lin? So scrambled eggs is one of those things that when done well, it is absolutely delicious, but is so often done very badly. So, hungry man about town. Charlie,
Tips.
would you like to share your scrambled egg tips?
These tips are very much trial and error, because I used to do scrambled eggs really badly. So one thing straight away is I always this is what I got this on Amazon for like 10 quid, but it's extremely useful because you get your egg, break your eggs in there,
Yeah.
and then you sort of break the yolk as much as you want. So obviously you can whisk the eggs if you really wanted them to be like the perfect colour. I like it like this, where you've got broken yolk, and when this starts to cook, you'll have bits of broken yolk and bits of broken egg white, and it's all swirly and lovely, rather than it all perfectly orange. Do you know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
So that's one thing, but that's personal preference. Number two, if you wanted to do it properly, you want to use butter. In the pan, on a low heat, this side of the Aga is low heat, and then you want it to gently cook slowly. I am going to put it onto the hotter stove now, and then what you'll see is the temptation, and to be fair, what I used to do, and you can do this, is to continuously stir. But if you want it to be more like folded swirly egg, if you just wait for it to start puffing at the edges,
Okay.
and then we'll wait probably a minute or so, but look, it's already starting to cook. And then the other key factor is to season it when it's in the pan.
Right.
If you season it when you're in the mixing jug,
Yeah.
my belief is, and this, sorry, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat today. My belief is it gets a bit more watery.
Oh.
So I was told, I can't remember who told me, but I've always done it this way now, is to season it in the pan.
Okay.
Right, so it's now starting to cook up. Scrambled eggs is one of those things that I think people get a bit too worked up about because it's very straightforward, and even you can't really mess it up. So now we're just going to start bringing it in from the edges, look, and you can see it's starting to cook. Now I've got 7 eggs in here for the two of us.
I'd be tempted to just like take that paddle and start going rah, rah, rah,
Well,
rah,
exactly.
rah, rah.
But this is all personal preference, because a lot of people would probably want them a bit more whisked in together. This is more like having what I would call folded eggs than scrambled, because scrambled obviously suggests that you're scrambling it all together and it's all broken up. But I always think it looks visually a bit better. So now you're just moving it around, and it's starting to get rather hot. Now the other key thing is you could take it off now,
Yes.
and it's going to keep cooking.
Yeah.
So really, I would often now start breaking it up a bit. I often really take that over here, and it's still cooking. And obviously be careful. And sometimes you'll get bits on the edge like that you might not want to include, so you just sort of leave them on the edge.
I know
There you
2
go.
little Harrys that will quite enjoy those bits.
Right. And then you can leave them in the pan for your personal preference. So for example, when your mum has scrambled eggs, she prefers them a little bit more cooked, a little less runny. So I would always serve hers last. It's quite simple. Yeah? And then they're still cooking in the pan.
Can I have mine at the side of my bread, please? Cheers, mate.
And then if you want to upgrade them, you can obviously add a bit of truffle in there, fresh chives from the garden. Yeah, and then
Very good.
very simple.
And that is our weekend breakfast. Leave a comment down below if you have ketchup with your scrambled eggs or brown sauce. Are you?
Yeah, I don't always. If we've got truffle in there, we haven't got any chives in the garden at the moment.
Yeah.
So I am going to put a bit of ketchup on that.
Scandalous. Way to ruin a scrambled egg, I reckon.
No, well, I like it. It adds a bit of a kick.
Oh, and you're going for Heinz?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Heinz for this because then I can just do that.
Sacrilege. Okay, so here it is. This really is the final meal of this very long what I eat in a week video. So it all started a couple of weeks ago. One of my friends, Hannah, and her boyfriend Cal cooked a chicken tikka masala. She shared it on her Instagram stories and I thought it looked like the most mouth-watering dish in the world, and I've not been able to get it out of my head since. So Hannah very kindly sent me the recipe. I'm not sure what book it's from. Alexa, timer off. I'm not sure what book it's from, but in case this does end up being the world's best chicken tikka masala, and it certainly smells like it, I'll put the instructions on the screen here. There's basically 3 steps, so pause and screenshot if you'd like the instructions. This is step 1 on the screen now. This is step 2. And you can leave it at this step if you want just chicken tikka, but then this is step 3, which turns it into a chicken tikka masala. So that is what we have here. This is Amelia Liana's Persian rice recipe. I use it a lot, I love it. I normally do it with chicken biryani. I did that loads in the summer. And I have got it written down in my diary here because I need to refer to it quite regularly. So this is Amelia's rice recipe. And then I've cheated with a couple of shop-bought naans. So hopefully this is going to be scrumptious, it smells good, and I am bloomin' hungry. And here it is, the finished dish. I have cut up the naan just so it's a little bit easier on the plate. This looks and smells delicious. Turn around and walk